Okay, so if you look on pages 24 and 25, you can see the visual overview, the page content elements that we are going to do in this next section. All of the words that are in bold are the new tags that you're going to learn, and you can see the arrows are pointing to where they are. So let's get started. Go ahead and take a look at page 26. Figure 113 those are all grouping elements. That may come in handy later for you. Right now, let's go ahead and open the demo_html.htm file. And to do that, again, I'm going to click on the folder down here at the bottom, and I'm going to browse to my Google Drive and find the folder that I saved from the website earlier, tutorial.01. And it's in the demo folder, because if you look at number 1, it tells you at the end of that sentence, tutorial.01/demo folder, right here, demo. So double click it, and we are looking for demo_html htm right here. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to choose to have mine open with Chrome instead of Opera. You can probably just double click yours. Okay, so this is what this page looks like. It says if your browser prompts you to allow code from the web page to be run, click the Allow Blocked Content button. Mine didn't. So it says here, marking group content. To mark a heading, enter HN, that's for a heading. Paragraph is P's, and a block quote is the block quote tags. So to view heading elements, click in the blue box in the lower left corner of the demo page over here and type an H1 tag. This is a heading 1 tag, and then the J prop shop, and then close the H1 tag. Okay, hit enter to go to a new line, and then an H2 opening tag, forgot to hit enter, with the text quality, juggling, and circus props, and then go ahead and close the H2 tag. And then click the preview button located below the blue code window. And it shows you over here what it looks like. This is a nice way to learn, okay? To see how an H3 tag, I'm at number 4 now, down below, you would look, you change the opening tag for the store description from H2 to H3. Okay, so let's do that. We'll just change the 2 here to 3. You can just see H1 is the largest, H2 is a little smaller, and H3 is a little smaller than that. Okay, let's go ahead and go to page 26 or 28. So we're going to add tags, headings to Dave's document. So I need to return to jprop.html in my text editor. So to do that, I'm not going to go to my folder and double click it. It's here, because if I do that, since it's a .htm, it will open in the browser. Okay, I'm going to go to Notepad. And open. And it's not showing up. That's because it's only looking for text documents. So I'm going to click here and say All Files. Then I'm going to click it and open. There's my code. Okay, so now I'm at number 2 on page 28. Within the header element, insert the following tags. So right here's header. Hit spacebar to move underneath it. And H1, no space after it, and then J prop, and then close the H1, and then an H2 tag below that. and close the H2 tag. And then within the first article element, we're going to insert the H2 tag. So within the first article element right here, I'm going to space over for that. And then the second one is going to be specials this month right here as an H2. Close that H2. Then in the third one here, oops, wrong line. Between the third one, it's going to be an H2 again, and quality tested. Close H2. Then in the aside, between the aside elements, which I'm going to scroll down so I can see that, we're going to put H2 tag and customer comments, and we're going to close H2. Okay. Now, and you can see on page 29 what that should look like. We're going to save the changes. I'm going to go ahead and do Control S, and then I'm going to go in my folder and I'm going to double click the HTML file there so it opens in my browser. And now you can see what that looks like and compare it with figure 116 on page 29. Okay, so now we're going to go into grouping headings. If you take a look at page 30, go back to the file here in Notepad, and we're going to indent the first two headings in the document and then enclose them within an H group tag. So under header right here, I'm going to hit enter and go over here and it's going to be H group, and then I'm going to, after the right here, I'm going to close it. Control S to save, and then I'm going to add the 4 paragraphs like it's indicating. It says directly below the H2 heading welcome, insert the following paragraph code. Right here. I'm just going to scoot over here, and this is going to be P. I'm going to pause this while I type, so you just go ahead and type. Okay, and as you type, you can hit enter and space it over just like how it's shown here, so it's easier to read. Otherwise your text will go away. It'll just keep going and going and going, and when you put it in and save it and you look here, you can see that it'll only go as wide as the window. So continue to type the paragraphs. Okay, when you're done typing the paragraphs, it'll look like this, and it'll also look like page 31 in your book. Go ahead and do a Control S to save, go back in your browser, refresh your browser, and then you can see what this looks like so far. Let's go ahead and go to the next page, page 32. Just showing you where the paragraphs and how it should look, and it does. So at the bottom, we're going to go back to our file, and we're going to scroll down to the aside element, and after the paragraph within that element, right down here, after the paragraph, insert the following block quote as shown. Okay, and I'm going to pause now and type that. Okay, so your code will look similar to what's in red at the top of page 33. When you're done with that last paragraph in the block quote, close the paragraph, and then make sure that you come in and you close the block quote. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and save. Control S, and then I'm going to go to my browser and reload. And that's what a block quote looks like. Okay, it keeps it all together and it indents it. Okay, that's the difference. So now we're going to go to making an address. Let's go ahead and go to page 34. We're going to go back to Notepad, and we're going to scroll down to the bottom to the then within the footer element we're going to do an address. So right here I'm going to hit enter and space over just like it shows in red on page 34, and we're going to do an address. I'm going to pause while I type. When you're done with the address, typing it in, it should look like this, where you hit enter and you hit space. It looks just like what's in red in your book. So I'm going to go ahead and Control S, come back here to my browser, and I'm going to refresh. And that's what an address looks like. It puts it in italics. Making a list. They show you an example on page 35. An ordered list starts with OL. The tag is OL. Unordered list is UL. Okay, let's go ahead and make the ordered list. Well, we're going to go to the demo. Okay, so I did that in Chrome. So I'm going to come over here to the demo, and I'm going to delete the code that's in there and get rid of that, and I'm going to do L and hit enter and space a few times. LI, first item, close the LI. Okay, and instead of typing all that all the time, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select it and do Control C, come hit enter, Control V, hit enter, Control V, hit enter, and close the ordered list. And then I'm going to come up here and change first to second, and this one to third, and then I'm going to do preview code, and you can see what it does with the ordered list. It indents it a little bit and it numbers it because it's an ordered list. Okay, now I'm going to go over to page 36 and do an unordered list. Okay, and I'm just going to leave it there how it is, except for I'm going to change the O to a U, and first item to basic stick. Flower stick. And then I'm going to add another row here, and I Control V again because it's immediately after what I did before. It was still on my clipboard. Glow stick. And I'm going to change this one to a U. And now preview code. In an ordered list, the default is a black circle. Okay. So now there's nesting lists, it shows on page 37. Why don't you go ahead and we'll do that together. So indent the following code between the LI basic stick and the closing LI tag. So basic stick here. I'm going to hit enter, space over, UL, enter, LI, red, close it, I'm going to pause here. When you're done, preview the code, and you can see that there's a nested list now. It's unordered inside that. And if you take a look, it looks like at the top of page 38. Next will be a description list. Okay, so here's the DL. Preview code. And these are definitions, the DL's definition list, definition term, definition. Now I'm going to go back to Dave's site and add to that. So I'm back here and I'm going to add the red code on page 40. After entering the unordered list, this is what it should look like.